On Channel 2 News at 5, near-record rains turn fields to floods and roads to rivers as mudslides tie up traffic and threaten your drinking water. Also tonight, 'tis a season to spend, but are you getting the best deal on your credit cards? And critics say what's going on at this church is no laughing matter. Next.
Bringing you the spirit of the Northwest, we are KATU. Now, Channel 2 News.
Raging rivers flood reservoirs, pouring millions of gallons of water over the banks. Mudslides slam onto highways below, trapping dozens of people. Near-record rains overwhelm the water system, and that could mean trouble from your tap. And this may just be the beginning.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Julie Emery.
And I'm Jeff Gianola.
Now, one of the hardest hit areas in this wet and wild weather is the Oregon coast. The heavy rainfall sent mud, rocks, and logs cascading down the hillsides, cutting off dozens of cars. The problem area is on Highway 6 near Tillamook. We start our team coverage from there with Mark Hass.
Mother Nature bore hundreds of new waterfalls in the Coast Range last night, but they washed logs, mud, and rock across major arterials, including 3 places on the Wilson River Highway. 24 motorists were trapped between slides and were forced to spend the night in their cars.
The slide looked like it was about 50
One slide broke across the highway right in front of Dan Scott and his family.
We come through and this slide missed from hitting us by about 2 minutes. Just went through and somebody turned around and come back and tried to get out and said there was a slide there, blocked the whole road.
Bulldozers and heavy equipment eventually cleared the debris, fishing out logs from the swollen creeks and rivers, but the normally busy highway will remain closed until highway crews finish their work. And the normally placid Wilson River roared with new power. A Coast Guard chopper stood by to evacuate, but lowlanders, even at this RV park, were resigned to hold their ground.
The ice catch. We're staying put. We've got nowhere else to go.
Yeah, I just will enjoy it. Shoot, nothing you can do about it.
The flooded coastal rivers meant high water in towns like Tillamook, but some had a secret strategy for driving down flooded streets.
Make sure you stay on the road. That's the main thing.
That's Mark Hass, and that's the way it looks on Highway 6. And high water also causing problems in Clackamas County and has forced the closure of Highway 224. Channel 2's Kern Snipes joins us now with a live report. Kern, what's your exact location?
Hi, Jeff. I'm about 2 miles east of Carver. This is the Clackamas River. Take a look at this tree back behind me. You can see where the water has come up. Residents here say it's come up between 10 and 15 feet in the last 36 hours. Now, nearby and near Estacada, there are also some problems on the Roaring River with the bridge that goes over that river. The bridge is a little lower than it was the same time yesterday. Let's take a look at some aerial pictures we took earlier today. The state has closed Highway 224 because the bridge at milepost 43 is unsafe. It has dropped 12 to 14 inches since early this morning. Engineers say high water eroded an embankment and debris in the river shifted one of the footings beneath the bridge. Now the state has hired a company to build a temporary one-lane bridge above the damaged one, but that's expected to take as long as a week. So Highway 224 is closed, and that's bad news for the 1,400 people who drive over that bridge over the Roaring River every single day. And here along Clackamas River Drive, they say it's bad, but it's not as bad as it was in 1964 when a football field from here, the water was at least 5 feet deep in their basements. Jeff and Julie,
Well, that's our measure, 1964. Thank you, Curran. From Oregon to Washington, the wet weather only seems to get...
Problem or complaint?
Welcome back to Channel 2 News on this rainy Tuesday. Streets throughout the Northwest are looking more like rivers as commuters make their way home tonight. So what can you do to prepare you and your family when Mother Nature opens the floodgates?
Yeah, the Boy Scout motto, be prepared, is something to keep in mind in this weather. Our Channel 2 News in Motion shows you what can be done if you're in a high-risk area. First of all, take a look at this. A temporary wooden fence can be put up just to stop rocks and tree limbs. Layers of sandbags should be stacked near your home to divert high water. Homeowners with sliding glass doors need to cover them with plastic sheets and then secure that with a plywood barrier. Plenty of people in our area are already dealing with flooded basements and leaky roofs. Victoria Fung has tips on how to cope with more rain that is coming our way.
It was all the way up to the second step.
It happened overnight in Park Rose, flooding that dumped 3 feet of water into this basement. The people here worked quickly to remove the water in a race to salvage their furniture and a washing machine.
So how long do you think it's going to take to pump all this water out?
3-4 hours maybe with this. I mean, I couldn't even imagine how many gallons are here. You just go with it.
So you would reel this out.
The rainy weather means big business for hardware stores with water pumps for rent.
If you've got water on the floor, you've got on your carpet or whatever, and you want to vacuum it up, these are called wet and dry vacs.
They're also hot rental items for messy cleanups. And many people are running in to buy this compound that can patch leaky roofs even when they're wet. The city of Portland is getting ready too, dumping loads of sand and burlap bags in neighborhoods prone to flooding.
We have more than enough sand to cover floods from now and probably until May. We have 15,000 sandbags, and the sand is basically a never-ending pile for us.
Residents are welcome to fill their own sandbags. Mary Volm shows us how.
That should be about full enough. That's about half full. You take the bag, you fold it over, and you lay it down that way.
And that's it.
That's it.
Quick and easy, the way it has to be when the water's rising.
And there are a few other things you should have on hand, so says the American Red Cross, just in case you're stuck in a flood. First of all, be sure you have a first aid kit with all the, bandages and antiseptic, things like that, in case someone gets injured. Also, keep some canned food on hand. This particular can pulls open, but you should have a can opener as well. Bottled water is a must. You have to stay hydrated. Fresh water, keep that on hand. Also, if you're stuck in the dark, you will need a flashlight. This one works, it's great. And keep some extra batteries on hand as well. And boots, rubber boots are particularly important if you get stuck wading through something. These are kind of short, they're my boots, but you need taller ones. Finally, a radio that operates on batteries so you can listen to bulletins and find out how the weather's doing. A few extra things to have on hand in case you're stuck in a flood. Jeff?
Some very good tips tonight. Thanks, Victoria. Let's move on to some other news. We have an up live. Kern, how's it looking?
Well, that section of Highway 224 near Estacada remains closed because of the bridge over the Roaring River. One end of the bridge dropped about a foot last night. The high water ate away part of the embankment, and debris in the river shifted one of the footings. Now, a company's been hired to build a temporary one-lane bridge above the damaged one, but that could take a week. The bridge, which is located at milepost 43, is about 45 years old and has about 1,400 vehicles per week. Now, we're about 2 miles from Carver with the Clackamas River behind us, and Stephen Paul, the water has been receding in the past hour. We can now see a fence post out here that was underwater just a short time ago.
That's our first report of water going down this evening. Thank you very much, Karen Snipes.
Yeah, still a lot of problems out there. We have some news in motion animation to show you how the bridge will have to be repaired tonight. A cutaway of a